Korea 2022 is finally here. After a hiatus of 2 years due to the pandemic, we're finally heading back to Korea. But first, we drop Murphy off at our friend's house, and then we head down to Atlanta for the Atlanta to Incheon 14-hour flight. And look at this, Korean Air actually gives me enough leg room for that long flight. Once on the ground, it's time for coffee and a COVID test. And then we hop on another plane for a 50-minute flight to Jeju Island, where my wife Hunju was born and raised and her family still lives. Sadly, though, there's a typhoon threat off the coast, and the seas just keep getting angrier and angrier as we look out at them. The only ones who seemed thrilled about the waves were the surfers of Jeju Island. After having been awake for almost 40 hours, it was time for us to head to the hotel. But thankfully, Hyunju's brother, Suk-young, brought us food from his restaurant and then a special gift from her mother, who is a haenyeo. Haenyeo are the ladies of the sea. They have been diving for centuries, capturing the goodness of the ocean. They are also known as mermaids. And her mother sent us some freshly caught octopus. It was so delicious. After a good night's sleep, we woke up, not feeling jet-lagged, and headed over to the coffee shop. Cafes, coffee, every block in Korea has one. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And of course, the only sad thing is masks everywhere, and even Dal Harabong had to wear a mask. Suk-young took us to one of my favorite places that I always enjoy, and that is the market. It's so different than anything in America. The crowds, the ambiance, and you'll notice a lot of citrus in this particular market. Jeju Island is one of the major growers of mandarin oranges and little cuties, so you'll see them everywhere in the markets. A whole variety of street foods and vegetables, and of course, kimchi is available. This dog is not for sale, by the way. All the bounty of the sea is available, along with tons and tons of street food. It's just an amazing experience to walk through. I enjoyed seeing this at the fish tables. These fans managed to keep any flies away from their fresh produce throughout the day. These are some of the type of things that the haenyeo bring up from the ocean. And of course, fishermen catch all kinds of fish, and they are also for sale in the market. And if you're tired of fish, never fear. There's plenty of kimchi. And how about some pork? Every possible part of the pig is displayed here and ready to be eaten by you, as long as you have a couple of won to spend. The market totally changes at night with tons more street food and, of course, entertainment galore. The next morning, we awoke ready for some sightseeing, and since we're close to the harbor, we walked over and looked at this wonderful broad walk that runs along the entire harbor. While we were there, Suk-young joined us, and we got to see our niece, Jane, for the first time since she was just a little teeny baby. And of course, sightseeing always makes me hungry, so why not head to the world-famous Black Pork Street? I've been craving some Korean barbecue ever since we landed.
barbecue and you guys are peddling lights to get here, so it must be good. Let's try it. Prices are good. Lots of people. Let's go in.
근데 좀 구워서 나오니까 괜찮네. 고기와
빌라진 메뉴가 도착했습니다. 첫 번째 칸.
I wonder if you're supposed to tip the robot. Actually, there's no tipping in Korea. For humans or robots.
We're at a quick barbecue with a wrap. We have all this delicious pork here. And I'm taking some mushroom and some abalone. This is the abalone. Some mushroom, some sprouts,
What about some
little spicy condiment,
miso soup,
and some kimchi,
miso sauce?
and then wrap it up. It's not graceful to watch someone eat it.
I love makgeolli, a fermented rice beverage. And on this trip, I was introduced to Jeju makgeolli. It's now my favorite brand. After lunch, more sightseeing was in order to work off all those calories. So we stepped back into the 14th century, the Jeju Gwana government offices, and the Gwandokjona traditional buildings and museum, a reconstruction of this 14th century period. The beautiful architecture and the gorgeous grounds made it a very memorable sightseeing tour, while learning about Jeju Island's history. For dinner that night, one of my guilty pleasures, chimak, fried chicken and beer, along with tteokbokki for some spicy additive on the side, and of course, some cask beer. Banking in Korea is pretty amazing. You get to sit down in a nice chair in front of the teller, and instead of just pens being on chains, you have reading glasses on chains too. And in Korea, they like to use natural energy, solar and wind, to power the crossing lights. Thatched roofs are common in many cultures around the world, but we particularly like these. And of course, the building is made to withstand time. Volcanic rock that just stands there and stands there for centuries. That evening, we took our niece Jane to McDonald's. And later, a shopping spree, because her aunt Hyunju loves to spoil this girl, and rightfully so. I love to see these conch shells piled up outside of restaurants. The next morning, we went past the Frog House, past some beautiful doors, past an ornate Buddhist temple, and jumped aboard a bus for a ride to Hamduk Beach Resort. On board the bus, videos play explaining proper bus etiquette so you can be courteous to your fellow passengers. Hamduk Beach Resort is a beautiful coastal town. Nice resorts, delicious seafood and all kinds of restaurants, and of course, the beautiful beach itself. That's it for episode 1 of Korea 2022. In the next episode, we'll see more of Jeju Island. If you enjoyed this, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. 감사합니다.